How of Life TV in the building in Harrisburg, PA today. We got Foxxy Vixxen. What's up?
Hey everybody, thanks for having me.
So you come down all the way from the Bronx today?
I came from Jersey because I live in Jersey now, but I am from the Bronx. I'm from the northeast part of the Bronx, Co-op City, Rochester area, like Pelham Bay area.
The home of hip hop.
Yes, that is where hip hop was birthed, absolutely.
What was it like, kind of growing up and being surrounded by that energy?
Whew, it was inspiring, you know what I mean? I grew up on a lot of entertainers that, their music and the catalog I value and respect. Co-op was a great neighborhood. It was very supportive. And so, I had influences all over, from school to just being outside to graffiti art. 106 Park used to be the thing back then. You know what I mean? We all was, glued to our TVs to watch it. And I had a good time. And I was deeply influenced by the music. Radio stations. At the time, it was just Hot 97, 105.1 came after the fact. And so listening to these radio stations, it was inspired as well to, become Foxxy Vixxen, become who I am today. And then I've always been into poetry and acting and writing and things like that. So it's just all meshed together.
Where did the fire, the passion to want to take all that experience and things you were into, but actually pursue and, perfect your craft like the way you are now?
It started back in about 8 years ago. I started rapping along with my ex-husband, and we had a daughter together. We slowed down the music thing after she was born and we separated. And then I decided, after I had my second daughter, her name is Cleopatra. My firstborn is Nefertiti. My secondborn is Cleopatra. And, I decided to, I just wanted to use my talents in so many different ways. I had a very horrendous situation happen between me and my children, and I'm using my music as a form of advocacy so I can be able to get out what we're going through and what we're experiencing.
So we shot an episode of The Corner today. If anybody watching this, make sure you go watch that. And even on there, you really pulled out all the stops. You really incorporated acting and character in that, from the costumes to the uniform. Can you talk about some of your motivation behind bringing that in?
Yes. So I dressed up as a prisoner, and I had a lovely lady. She dressed up as a police officer. And what happened was we ended up basically portraying the entire situation, situation between me and the NYPD, or just police in general, because I'm pretty famous. I'm pretty well known, where it's just I'm the best kept secret. Anybody doesn't really like to talk about me. It's kind of like Fight Club. Nobody talks the first room of Fight Club. Nobody talks about Fight Club. But unfortunately, in this situation, my children are involved, and my children have made allegations that are heavily supported through evidence that I have that they are being humanly trafficked through the foster care system of Good Shepherd Services in the Bronx, New York, with NYPD knowledge as well as participation. And I'm fighting it in court right now. And so I'm using my musical influence, and I'm using my talents to be able to talk about this and get it on a platform where it can appropriately be circled around in social media, because there's been a lot of people speaking on it indirectly. And they have not, it's told my narrative, or me and my children's narrative. And so this is my space and opportunity to do so.
And, we talked about it, and I'm kind of filling us in today. It's made some more national headlines, or at least definitely in New York, from what you were filling us in on.
So I wouldn't go as far as saying headlines, but there is a situation where there are people who are taking advantage of a situation that me and my children are experiencing. When me and my husband first departed and decided to end our marriage about 6 weeks after my daughter Nefertiti was born, there was a girl who, she was a witch, and she did voodoo on me. And a lot of people have been taking advantage of this situation. I have different clips from news reports. I have different clips from radio stations. I have a lot of different things that could prove what I'm saying, that these low-life people, instead of helping me and my children, have decided to enjoy the horrific fun. Like children getting molested and children getting humanly trafficked and their mother having to helplessly, ask for help is a form of fun. It's sick. It's really sick. And I love, for these people to at me, because they know who I am. They know what they're doing. They know who they're hurting, and they think it's funny. So my thing is, if you're gonna be that bold about it, you can at me. You can talk to me. A lot of these people I DM'd. A lot of these people I have proof of what I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying it on Lens, because it's time for y'all to stop dancing around a topic and just say what you need to say. Because if you think it's funny, let's see how funny it is when you pay the consequences of what you've done, because you promoted what happened to my children, and it's pathetic.
That's terrible. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know a ton about Voodo. We kind of were speaking about it earlier. Like if you could fill us in, like any context to saying, at least that piece.
Okay. Well, with Voodo, I don't really know much about Voodo. I don't. The person who has done the Voodo and who has caused these situations needs to be the person who's introduced and talked about it. This female, she was dealing with my ex-husband while I was still pregnant, and they were employees together. My ex-husband knows who she is. A lot of people have heard of her, but she's a coward. She doesn't want to come out and be upright about what she's done. And then she has a whole bunch of losers who support her because they like the fact that they're hurting somebody who I guess they're jealous of. It's a very envious, tacky thing. And my thing is just like, she's hurt a lot of people besides me. She said things she said things and framed it to make it look like it was me. My thing is, it's like, if you're an adult and somebody says something about you, or you feel something is being said about you, and an adult is willing to talk about it, you have a conversation. You don't start attacking them and their kids. There's no excuse to do and to behave and react the way people have behaved and reacted. I really do think that it's just raggedy people want to take advantage of a situation that unfortunately has to do with my kids getting harmed, and I'm not going to take that lightly at all. Like I said, there's a lot of very well-known people who have tapped in onto this experience. And honestly, their fan base should call them out. I think they're tacky, low-life, and disgusting, and they would never say these things to my face.
I'm sorry that you had to go through what you're going through, and it's definitely a heavy conversation. On our platform, we really focus on highlighting storytellers, highlighting musicians, artists. Why choose rap and choose music as a medium to get your message out?
Because that's what people know me for, and this is the reason why it's happening. I started rapping more seriously back in 2021 when I was living in Los Angeles. I started bubbling, I started blowing up, I started getting a little following, people started talking about me. Then from that, I went to, I'm also a market trainer, a freelance. I do sales, education, and marketing. I had problems on my job because I'm a beauty influencer, so I do makeup, I do skincare. I get problems on my job at that because people know who I am, but they want to play it. They just want to take advantage of their head. A bad situation ended up working out for me, and they needed to play God and make it worse. And so my children were taken from me, and they were given to this guy who he's a child abuser, and they are claiming that they're having all types of different abuse, including SA. And SA stands, we know what that stands for. And so I've spoken to different sergeants, district attorneys. I've spoken to assemblymen. I've talked to senates. I've gone to the Capitol in Albany. I've talked to so many people who pretended to care. You know what I mean? I've spoken to activists. I spoke to I went to speak with Reverend R. Sharpton. He was of no help. They really didn't seem to care too much about police sexually essaying my kids. They didn't really care too much about that, even though they run an organization that is supposed to go against police brutality. Man, right there off 145th Street, he's there every Saturday doing his rallies. I've fought there many times, and I did not get supported. I went to his conference. I met Big Crump. I told Big Crump what was going on, and none of these people owe me anything. You know what I mean? But they are all in a position where they can help. and there's 2 children involved. So my thing is just like, what's hurting you to just to be able to say, hey, this is going on? Because you know what, if you're hearing something you don't like, that doesn't mean my children suffer for it. Just talk about it. Just talk about it. This is not an easy conversation for me to have. A lot of people are probably going to say I'm crazy. A lot of people are going, oh, she said stuff is in her head. No, I'm tired of the bull, and I'm stepping up to the plate, and I'm talking about what's happening to me because I have proof of it. So y'all can sit back and throw allegations all you want to. All I'm going to do is show you different scenarios where these people are actually taking advantage of this thing, and we're going to call out who this person is. We're going to call out who this person is, and they're going to have to step up to the plate on their role that they're playing instead of hiding behind some voice and not being responsible for any of their actions, because these people are grown. It's more than one. These people are grown, and the main idiot, thinks, she doesn't want to be out there because she knows she's a hideous human being, but she has a lot of company. There's a lot of people out there who behave just like her, and I want them all out. I want them all exposed so we can laugh, we can giggle, we can do all that, because all I'm gonna do is press play. Because rap was my way of getting it out there, because that is why this is happening. People know I'm Foxxy Vixxen, so they want to attack me and entrap me and abuse me and mistreat me. And it's funny because a lot of these people are people of color, and they claim that, oh, Black Lives Matter, but you mean to tell me the police essaying 2 little girls, 6 and 7 little girls for the past 2 years is something that you don't think is a big thing? And especially if you're doing something and contributing to something that's causing it, and you don't think you should speak up on it? I'm talking Joyce McMillan. I'm talking Reverend R. Sharpton. I've spoken with news anchors, Phil Tate. I've spoken to all these people. I've sent them emails, recordings. I'm dropping names, okay? Because these people have contributed either by ignoring what I'm asking, or by just completely not giving me the equal protection that me and my children need. District Attorney Johanna Hernandez in the Bronx, New York. She's the chief deputy of SA abuse and child abuse, and she has this information. She's not doing anything about it. I'm at the Darcel Clark's office in the Bronx. She's not doing anything about it. Vanessa Gibson, the Bronx Borough President, Yudelka Tapia, the Assemblywoman. I've talked to these people and showed them hard evidence. Yudelka Tapia, she wrote a letter to the district attorney asking them to reopen my case because she shared the same concerns as me, then turned around and added to the contribution by trying to cover it up. This is a huge cover up. They don't want it to get out there because they are being their lowest form of low, and everyone's accepting it because I'm a rapper and I'm an entertainer. Like, I'm not a human being or a mother first, and like, those aren't human children who deserve to be treated way better than they've been treated. My children are not eating properly. They're not bathed properly. They're not dressed properly. They're not fed properly. And from what I'm hearing, they're telling me that they're being essayed every day, and they've been in our house for 2 years. There's no excuse for that. That's absolutely disgusting. And if you contribute to that, please at me, because everybody needs to know who you are. Let's laugh together. If you think it is so funny that that's going to be something you throw your head back and laugh about, you need to at me so we can have a giggle together, because you are low life trash.
And when you say house, just for clarity, it's like a foster house?
It's a foster home. Good Shepherd Services, Bronx, New York. The case planners, Ziani Perez, Latoya Powell, Marissa Jimenez, the CEO, Michelle Ganchi. Then we have Denise Hines. She is one of the board members who's supposed to be in control of all the case planners, and she's basically like the head bitch in charge when it comes to case planners. She has this information. They're just letting my kids sit there in this home, but there's this predator giving them more kids even after my children have made these reports. That's human trafficking, and I don't care how many knees are slapped, how many necks or back were laughed. I'm gonna tell my story because I got proof of it. So just at me. We can laugh together.
Obviously, continue to fight for your family and what matters most to you. What's the end goal, or what's 5 years from now for Foxxy Vixxen, the artist and the entertainer?
Justice for me and my kids. That is the utmost most important thing. I want justice. I want it in every form. this little child, this little idiot girl who ran around doing witchcraft on me that caused these problems. I want her to face her justice because she was used as a weapon to harm me and my kids. I have proof of that. I want the situation with my children where they're getting basically kidnapped and held hostage. I have proof of that, and I want justice with that. I'm in college right now. I want to be finished with my degree. I want to be home with my kids healing. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know where this rap thing is going to take me because I'm really just using it as a way of advocacy. I'm not too thrilled with the industry because a lot of big names too has contributed to the harassment and the abuse, or they, got their little herd of idiot fans to carry the bait with the bull, and it's irresponsible. You don't hurt nobody and their kids because it's a fucking trend. Like, you're a low life.
Well, I know we're going to get into this freestyle too. We had the in-studio performance. Before we wrap up, anything you want to, say as far as the world is watching?
I just want to say that Nefertiti Roseberry, age 7, and Cleopatra Wright, age 6, they matter. They're queens. They're beautiful queens and they matter. And shame on you for trying to make them feel like they don't. Just because you're an ugly, evil, disgusting person. Burn in fucking hell.